Hello.
This is your glorious leader speaking. At attention. Fools, you thought you had the last of them. Oh no, I'm back.
This is 2 days after Evo, or I am trying to break through what I would describe personally as the Great Strive Depression. No use slacking or waiting for the patch. The time is nigh. As a wise man who looks like a Brazilian barber once said, just hit upload, brother. Here I am. I'm just hitting upload. Season 4 Johnny, if I could describe the way he makes me feel, if Gold Lewis is like a migraine and Happy Chaos is like oppression, then Johnny makes me feel like I need therapy. I played a long set against Kazam today and had the opportunity to talk to him about the matchup versus Nago. I had this thought as I was talking to other players at Evo that it would be fun to get like a season 4 retrospective going. I'm not completely uninitiated against Johnny. I have my own biases about how the character plays, what you can do against the character, how strong he is as a Nago and Bridget main. I think he kind of screws them over in a lot of the same ways. So it's great to get other perspectives. So we talked a lot about why Johnny's strong, if it's realistic to perform the counterplay against him, if the counterplay is even worth a damn, what we would change if we were on the battle direction team, and what we hope for overall from 4.75. Kazam does a great job of explaining why Johnny is so messed up and accompanies me in elaborating on game mechanics and context. So I appreciate you all listening. I will turn it over to the VOD. Tell me if y'all would like to hear from somebody in specific, and we'll try to do like a little podcast episode or something like this sometime. Sounds good? Hey,
You like, comment, subscribe.
Is that Kazam I am? I'm down for some garbage. Ah! Mother of God. I feel like I need therapy anytime this character is on screen. Fuck this matchup. I can't block anything! It's fucking impossible! I can't be as bad of a player as Johnny makes me look.
Okay, so the thing is, basically, Nago specifically, I don't have like good answers for him because most of my advice is like at normal characters that have like normal dashes and stuff. So I don't have like great advice for many situations. There are other Nago players I play that I'm like, oh, I feel it more than you, or I'm like, oh, you're more active in these spots, so I can kind of be like, okay, I'm just going to run through my offense. And then like what other Nagos basically do to me, the difference is that they're not as active necessarily. So I'm like, oh, I can overextend in this way because they're not pressing like on my advantage or whatever.
The reason I wanted to call is not to retread Nago Johnny.
Sure.
Which we've already gone through it. I was thinking today, while we still had access to the patch, I just wanted to go through with like other strong players, kind of do like a season 4 retrospective. I guess it's like not really meant to be negative, because like we could just sit here and dunk on season 4 and like the mistakes.
Oh yeah, I mean, you
like,
can pull apart every single patch and be like, oh yeah, this shit was fucked. You know what I mean?
I think talk about like the top 3 things that like make him strong. Well, that might be hard to quantify
it's
top
it's
3,
hard because
right?
I think the thing with Johnny is he is made up of so many strong pieces that only work because they're together. Like when they added the dash, like that change, it affects so much. Like not only his pure like movement across the screen, but it makes his defense better, like because he can run under you easier. It makes it so that his offense is better because turn up when you pop it. Now when you dash after you pop it, you're +9, so you can get gapless close slash. Before there was always a 1 frame gap, so it's like, oh, there's always some hope here, like I can do something. If they do close slash or if they do 2K, the offense is limited. So that builds upon what is his previous strengths. His previous strengths are meter gain and strong mix-up, right?
Yes.
And also he has, good normals on top of that. Obviously he has the problem of he can't like move with his normals, but that's okay because they're massive. So they all lead to like good conversion stuff, especially since they increase the misfire range. It means like you can do confirms that you just couldn't do before, especially with 5H, like because they combine both their range. It just makes it like, oh, I can just get more meter for hitting you now. Obviously, if you look at his offense kind of like day 1 compared to now, things have changed. Like, I think we found pretty early, like, oh, you can do like, if we deal, we can like pop another, basically 2 cards, right? Like to gain more meter. Now, like, the more we keep pushing, the more it keeps seeing like, oh, okay, I can do that. But what if I do that and then I do ID back on this and deal another one and then do an overhead, and then off of this overhead I deal another card and then RPS off of that. So now like you keep stacking these things together, it's like, oh shit, his meter gain is out of control. He's not losing meter for doing any of this stuff. If he pushes just like once, he is able to run another mix up on you. Even if he overextends like just once or twice, it's like, oh, he's beating the meter clock.
Something I hear pretty often in Guilty Gear, like from mid to high level discussion, is like, let's go back to like Chip in season 1. Health or guts is like such a balancing factor. Like if Chip is wrong versus Johnny or Leo, like he takes double damage. That's why Chip is always good, because he has like powerful movement, powerful options, triple jump, wall cling, leaf grab, best in class normals, frame data, DP, I80, JH, but he pays with his health. It doesn't stop him from being strong. However, we can go on about Johnny, like credible movement, 15 frame dash, best in class normals for every single range. His lights are incredible, corner carry, full screen super, excellent reversal super, PRC super.
Yeah, I don't think he can have the best of everything like that, so it's fine.
Well, that's the
I would
that's
like
the
it
thing.
personally.
Exactly. My favorite character archetype is not really characters like Nago, but I love the characters that have everything and like they pay a price, right? Or they should pay a price in their kit. Or the developers somehow they crept the power in the kits so hard in season 4. I just feel like Johnny has no flaw. He has no fault. I'm not saying he should have a fault, but his power level is so high, it just becomes insane.
I think it eclipses any faults he has, really, because he can make up for it on other aspects. Like technically the fault is like, oh, his walk speed is kind of slow. His movement is linear.
I think it's the little things. He's so safe.
Once he starts making you block, especially if he puts you in the corner, he disengages really well, right? Even when he does card, like he's, what is it? He's minus 18, but it's like, because you're getting like mental stacked by the fact that he can do this and delay, and then he's so far out, and then here he's like, okay, he's minus 14, like, and you have the threat. Like you have to respond immediately blind in order to hit stuff like this. This is definitely like your Nago perspective, I think, as well. Like versus Nago, he's very good at like disengaging, right? Like this is because again, naturally Nago doesn't have a dash block. What do other characters do when he does like this? They try to move at him basically, and then they can like move into this. We we're gaining screen space to push him back so that his RPS on this is a little better. Nago doesn't have that. He can't RPS after this effectively. He has to be like, oh, just have to send Beyblade and hope he doesn't backdash again out of there, because you have no control over that distance. I have complete control.
2xKO just made this change in the game engine where backdashes are like less good. You know, repeated use means the frame data gets worse. I just think they had a little oversight that added up to a huge advantage for Johnnies who play like super safe, because his backdash is like highly invuln, and misfiner misfiner stance back is so good that it feels like he can always disengage safely, and it can make accruing space against him in neutral like very costly.
Classic is like Soul does Fafnir. It's like, okay, is he gonna DP, is he gonna mash, is he gonna back, like what is he gonna do? Like, and Johnny has that RPS off of like Ensenga too if he does it. He doesn't really need to do this that much unless he's targeting specific things, and even then his backdash is better than Soul's. So in the event that this happens, he can do this, he can do this, he can leave. When I was at Evo, I had the opposite experience when I fought Tatuma. He kept doing dash block 2K, basically dash block fuzzy 2K over and over on my offense. I could not escape him. I couldn't hit his movement. His movement was impeccable. So he was just meticulously running me down until I ran out of space. Basically, he smoked me basically because I was like, oh, this is a strategy I'm really used to doing, and he's really used to not letting that happen.
I think Tatuma is the highest example of a perfect player. His ability to dash block, to maintain a close proximity, and threaten is just like pristine Soul.
The movement execution, particularly, like his execution on the movement is perfect.
If you play perfect with a character like Soul, who I think because he has a DP and good enough movement and 2K2D is very safe, he has the tools to actually fight in the matchup. But is he actually any good? Is Johnny still advantaged? I would expect Soul to have the gap.
I mean, I think it's probably harder in the way that like the onus is all on Soul basically to navigate. Not easy to be like, oh, just go be the best like Tatsuma. Like it's hard to just be like, oh, could you guys just do that for me so I can see how good like the matchup is? Like, you know what I mean? Probably Johnny is still advantaged, and it's like one of those things like, oh, personally I'm like, okay, I just have to figure out a way to crack this guy open for because there has to be a timing, it has to be something. But just in a short time we were able to play. I'm just like, oh,
it's not winning, but he can.
I think
which I would say the same for
even
Nago or Bridget. I had to do things that can be very costly because there's not many opportunities to interact in some of these matchups.
Yeah.
But there's always a lot of ground to be gained knowledge-wise. I haven't really seen Keishu online. He's probably like sleeping the last 36 hours.
Yeah, he's probably enjoying himself.
What do you think is like the number one thing people don't do against Johnny that makes it easier?
Interesting question. I think there's two things. One is they don't know how to deal with fault because it's character specific. You have to look at your character and what they can do against faults and block strings and a neutral. Somebody said punish -15 misfire, but honestly, I don't think that's realistic all the time. And especially in bracket, just being like, oh. I think it's hard to see it and do it every time. Fair enough, like people don't do it, but it's like it's hard.
It's very cheap that it doesn't have
the special the special hit stop on it is very that would be I think a good change if they made it have normal hit stop to like not make it so difficult for people. Like basically, I'm not saying that like FD or IB massively change it, but when I do wall break and somebody just sits there and doesn't try to FD or IB, I'm like, it's party time because I can do everything. I control the spacing. I control the mix-ups. You can't wiggle. Once you start FDing, now I say, okay, I have to sacrifice meter here, or maybe I have to do vault after 2S instead, which has a bigger gap, and maybe they're doing something there. That kind of thing. Obviously, it's not like, oh, LOL, just FD him and you win. Like, it's still not making it that much easier. But I'm like, oh, it makes it go from me from being like easy offense to okay, I have to think about what you're doing and be more proactive, and I get less return a little bit. Certain positions where you have card are more you're able to convert better. So like here I'm able to convert all the time, but you know, if the card is like here, like in front of you, it starts to get kind of dicey. It depends. So seeing where the card is and being like, oh, if you FD and the card is like in front of you, right, you can make it maybe so that the card whiffs or like something like that. There's little things like that that are hard to know. Or like, you know, it's like, oh, he's making me block mid screen, right? Do I block high or low? Well, if he has like no card, right, the overhead is like less rewarding, because if you do 2S 5H, you don't have to spend anything. I'm not saying this is good for you, but I'm like, okay, evaluating risk reward, like what mix-up do I want to get hit by more, and how easy is it for him to hit the card. People technically don't do this stuff, but I'm like, oh, it's hard and the gain is small for a lot of things.
Oh, so, you know, I've been playing Xrd for a long time. Elfeld is like a top 3, top 5 level character, where she is like low execution, high tech. The engine in Xrd supports answering her kit in a lot of different ways. Always something you can do, unless you have no meter. It's so heavy knowledge wise. You have to play against the character a ton. If you don't know, you can only eke out marginal advantages, where she has like incredible Oki and like really high damage. So I can definitely relate to like somebody asking me like, oh, what do you do against Elfeld? And I can list like 10 to 15 different situations. It takes a long time, right?
Right. So yeah, I think the easiest way to learn how to fight Johnny is to play him for like a month. But not everybody's going to be like, I'm going to pick up a character for a month to like just learn how to not die to
well
him.
That's been a nice thing about Strive.
Like, yeah, Strive is a simpler game, like the, you know, with the simplified Gatlings and like the more universal way that characters behave, you can like pick up stuff faster. But if you're like, I need to play this character to figure something out, you can do it. You become empathetic, I guess. You're like, oh, okay, I see why they do this, or oh, I know this thing is hard, so maybe I can execution check them, or like, you know.
So Johnny's fucked. Agreed.
He is fucked. Yeah. He's messed up.
If any Johnny player ever tries to tell you he's not fucked, he is.
You know, I can go back and be like, oh, he has all these weaknesses. Like at the end of the day, he's still very strong, and his strengths definitely make up for it. So,
I think he's the safest top tier.
I think it depends on the stage of the game, actually, and it depends on the matchup. Like Nago, I can play extremely safe, actually. Like if you think about Nago versus Leo, right? Leo has to throw himself at you.
On paper,
but Johnny is like, okay, I'm here doing wireless pressure. So
that's crazy.
On the flip side, there's like playing, I think, characters that run at him. It can be challenging for me, at least, because what is, you know, how do you stop people running from you? You press an active normal, or if you're a character with a dash, you can run in 2K, or you press something huge like that. So Johnny's like 5K is 5K active, so you're slamming on that, right? It's like, okay. Except a lot of the speedsters can run into you with 6P, and by the time you see them, like they're like, if you're doing 2K or 2S, by the time you see them running at you, they're already hit. Like their startup beats you, so you have like this weird situation where, because you can't run into them with 2K, especially because people can run up 6P into this. Like if people run up 6P, they run up 6P this, they're like hitting you. So that layer against a lot of his stuff, so you kind of have to like do a lot of move back and forth with active moves, play with lows, like try to, you know, work around like a lot of that stuff. Obviously he's still good because like he can still hit. What do I tell chip players to do? I say run up 6P, run up 5H, like just do that shit over and over.
Don't let him control the pace,
because if you do that, it means that he can't see what you're doing before he presses. He has to press blind, and you can whiff punish.
Looking forward to 4.75. Yeah, what would you change about Johnny?
Not sure. Johnny, I think miss dash back has to be changed to have more startup or go less far.
That's my number one.
It has to be shorter. One of the two. It doesn't need to be both, but it needs to either be shorter or have more startup. Or change the frame data on it somehow.
Misfiner, stance back Misfiner needs to have like way more recovery. You can make a normal hit recovery. That's fine. It can't have no penalty.
Other than that, I think it's hard to nerf him without his kit becoming like weird. There's different things you could do. Like you could make turn up the card pop less plus. That would make like you could basically make it 2 frames less plus. That would make like stacking offense less guaranteed or more hard hard, but I don't know if people would be happy with that, or that like it's like, oh, this maybe will reduce his meter gain, and then it's like, we find out it's like, okay, maybe it's not that effective. I think nerfing him from a system would be the best thing, like changing how high health characters meter is prorated when they get hit. Like I would say prorate high health characters like the meter gain.
I don't think he should have high health. I think he should have normal health.
Personally, I would think I would rather him have high health and then weaker basically meter gain. I think meter gain is really like overwhelming, like the way that he abuses the system. I mean, I say that because
we already talked about how health
moves,
is not really a balancing factor.
The way he moves, like the reason he has high health is because of the way he moves around the screen. Like all characters that have fixed movement need higher health, I guess. He might have too much health. I'm not at liberty to say like, oh, what his exact number should be. But like characters like Nago, Seylor, Johnny, they all need high health because they move in a limited way. And if you don't give them high health, they basically like are encouraged to like sit there basically and kind of try to win from defense or take less risks or whatever, which I don't think is that engaging. I mean, also you can nerf like Vault in some way, make it have, either make it so the card hits at a different timing to make it less easy to stay advantaged, or making it you could make the card come out on the ground instead of in the air or like change the hurt box on the move itself to make it easier to hit, something like that. Like Roman cancel, or like red Roman cancel has longer meter penalty if you're running offense after it or something.
That's the system.
Have to be something. It's really hard to nerf him because I think from a system point he's broken. Like even I complain all the time, like, oh, I'm like, Anji generates meter because all of his mix-ups are at the end of his block strings, right? Like I'm like, well, at least Johnny a lot of times he has to do it at the beginning depending on how he structures it or whatever. But even Anji, it's like he doesn't have something he sets up afterwards to kill meter penalty timer, but Johnny does, because he can do Vault, pop the card, and now meter penalty starting while you're setting up another one, and they're stuck there sitting there while you're dealing again, setting up the next offensive situation.
Yes, knowing how much like Keishu loves this character, MJ, Kazam, Johnny is always one of the most popular characters. My wet dream is that Johnny has scaling on Misfinder, so if you use 2 Misfinders, the third Misfinder has like staling, so it has like more recovery, or maybe like a counter hit recovery state or something.
Idea, yeah.
So give him like a little.
I think that helps with certain matchups too, like certain polarizing matchups, like versus ABBA. There's a replay of me out there somewhere I watched versus I think it was Queen Koa, and all the comments are like, this is the most boring thing I've ever watched, because I'm just sitting there spamming the laser, and I'm just like, why would I interact with you at all? You change the light switch, I'm dead, so I'm just going to spam the laser until you die.
Reasonable nerf number 1 is Misfinder back needs a change. I think is by far the best thing he has when using combination with his kit.
It's definitely way too easy to just not take a risk on your offense with it.
Number 2 is Vault. I think Vault needs to go to like a -4 because his backdash is so good. If we're not going to change his backdash or his frame data, then Vault needs a nerf. Go ahead.
I was going to say, for Vault, you could also make it so the card goes away when he blocks something. I think that's also fair.
Yes. Right now I thought the same thing.
It's a pretty asymmetrical situation for different characters. Like if Faust blocks Vault, he's fucked. Like his string off lights sucks. You can just RPS with him and have favorable RPS off of his lights, versus like you do Vault to Happy Chaos is the happiest character in the world. He's killing you. Even if they keep the frame data the same, it makes the situation much more bearable for other characters to deal with, because he has to evade you.
I think letting people 6p it would it rewards responsive players, rewards patient players, good players, without taking away the spirit of the move as it is. Where if you get in, like, okay, you get like this little pressure situation, you can go all in, you can backdash. My final wishlist change,
for like,
this might be, you might see this as a personal attack. I'm sorry, Keishu, Kazam, MJ, Omido. I think Miss Vanillo should be soft Katie on combo, on normal hit.
That is interesting.
combo normal hit. I think it needs to be soft KD. Not air hit. Not air hit.
Okay,
I'm only talking about like 2P, 2P.
not air, specifically your mash out doesn't give you a hard knockdown.
Exactly. Yes. I think it is too good.
That makes sense. All right. Yeah. Again, it's one of those things. Like, obviously, if Johnny's the only top tier that gets nerfed, I would be like, boo. But I mean, I'm sure if our dream is that like a lot of the cast gets brought down in power level, I think that's a fine change.
That's definitely a power level
change. The
change.
idea is to like,
Leo can only do like P6P. Is white. Nago is special, but he has to spend hard to convert and get the game going. I think Johnny, his throughput is like so strong off 2P that it just raises the power level of the game so much. So I hope that's something they look at taking away, especially from other cast members who have it, without increasing the power level more.
With the mash change, the only concern is that counter hit, he still kind of probably gets broken stuff because he can do 5p 6k, he can do 2p 6k.
Don't remind me. Misfinder back does break 6k.
There is some like 6k pressure shenanigans that would also get weakened by that miss dash back change, which I think is also fine, right? I mean, neither here or there. We'll see what they actually do, right? I'm gonna just, like, at the end of the day, whatever changes come, I'm gonna accept them, and I'm probably still gonna play the character.
I don't see them shit getting the character. I don't
think it's possible unless they attack him from many angles. And they would have to think he's really broken compared to a lot of other characters. Yeah, I think he'll still be just fine, most likely. Even with universal changes, I'm looking at them. I'm like, when they say they're going to nerf Guard Crush, I'm like, okay, that could be fine. Or like, even if they nerf a lot of things about Guard Crush. Guard Crush is 3 things mainly. It's no throw protection, no true guard, and no YRC, right? Like those are the big things. So if they like let it be YRCable, it's like, well, he's doing wireless pressure to you anyways, and you can already YRC the misfinder. So it's like, okay, he's not that concerned. I think he'll be relatively fine, even with those like system changes that are clearly targeting characters like Johnny, like Ram, like Pot.
That was a good little powwow. I look forward to labbing this matchup.
Thanks for reaching out.
When it's not, when Johnny is not.
When it's more fun.
Yeah, when he's not this fucking mishmash. Well, I know you've been on for 8 hours. That's all I got. Season 4, if anybody is listening to this in like a few months, I think season 4 is a lot of fun, except we reach this point where it's like you get to mid to high as a player, and then like it's so fun, like the characters have a lot of depth, and then when you reach like high and top level, then you realize, oh, I have a pot in my path, like it's fucked.
It comes in waves, because you reach floor 10, the people in floor 10 going up against pot are suffering. But then they overcome that type of Potemkin. They're like, oh, yes, I did it. And then you realize there's a whole nother level to it.
That's it. Good talk, everybody.
All right, cool. Thank you for reaching out. It was a good chat.
Yes, Kazam. Thank you. Guys, follow Kazam.
Patch treats you well.
Go to his Twitch. Go to his YouTube.